with Florida Atlantic, like they were proud to be here, wasn't expecting it. So it's like you're playing with the house money, right? Like
Exactly.
UConn, they expected to be here. UConn was the _1 team in the country for a long time this year. So that's a team that wants to win a national title, and they have to, right? San Diego State, they're happy to be there. They're a little scary because they've got such a good defense, but I just think Sonogo is going to outplay them in general. So
he just has that, like we were saying, the physical aspect, but then again, he's been around for a little bit. He knows what he's doing, and like we had mentioned, he's playing good teams, so it's not like he's going up against these lower seeds and just beating up on them. They have solidified wins in this tournament thus far. So I don't know. I think if I had to pick, so what are you going to say final score you're taking right now?
75-62.
75-62, a 13-point victory for UConn.
Yeah, I think they double the spread. I think it could go a lot like the Gonzaga game, where early on maybe it's a little close, but then they kind of spread it out once they're hitting their threes and they get hot. So I think late they'll get a good push away from them.
Okay, I'm honestly thinking a little bit slower, maybe a little lower scoring of a game. I'm gonna go 68-62. And I think they just miss UConn covering, and we get a Huskies W.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I do agree with you that I maybe 75 is a little high, but I think UConn's just that great. Like
the confidence
you
is there.
could see that. You could see that San Diego State holds teams to low points.
Simo, who you got tonight? What are we feeling? I mean, this is I don't know. I feel like a lot of people you're either really excited for tonight or you don't care at all.
There's
being
some
that
people
it's,
that just don't care, and I mean we could talk about that. I mean, look, the fact that UConn's a blue blood in my mind, but the fact that there's no Duke, Carolina, Kansas,
Kentucky,
Kentucky, that sucks, I think. But look, San Diego State doesn't think that, so.
UConn Moneyline, no spread. Yeah,
I
think
that's
the
easy way out, Corey. Nice.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I agree with you.
I think they just missed the coverage. Like I'm saying, I think it's going to be a 4 to 6 point win. So maybe 5 right on the dot. SDSU spread. All right. If you caught it earlier today, it was at 7.5. So that could be a time to slide in there. Now, speaking of sliding in, let's talk about some baseball. And if we're talking about sliding, we're talking about the Yankees because we're talking about Anthony Volpe stealing bags. I got to witness the man himself this weekend while munching on a tendy bucket. And Andy B, I brought the tendy bucket.
Oh yeah, let me see it. There it is.
Right here. Here's the tendy bucket, right?
Talk about value. That provides you some value.
And then I got the first cup, souvenir cup with the Gates and whatnot, the old Yankee throwback logo, and then just a classic pinstripe. John. You
gotta save them all too.
Dude, listen, if I'm going to pay $8 for a soda, I'm saving the plastic cup. I'm sorry.
Are you going into the bathroom and cleaning it out, or are you just taking it straight up?
No, because I got other things. So I may stuff it with napkins to get it fully dry or something like that. But I'm gonna dry it out. I'm not just going to let it just a soggy cup in my, it's not like we're talking about a paper cup. This is plastic.
Oh,
you can just give it a little shake out and you're chilling there. So I don't know.
We have a whole cabinet in our house that has all Devils souvenir cups, Rangers.
It's a must. I mean, if you're going to these events, you I'm taking the cup with me, right?
Yeah. Am I gonna pay for the little medium cup they give you that's $7.50? No, I'll pay the extra $1 and I'll keep this thing and use it for years. Let's go.
Yeah. Smoothest slide in baseball is Trey Turner. Yeah.
That's about what I had.
They face off tonight. That's a shortstop duel right there. Trey Turner and Anthony Volpe. Let's see. Double R, I'm not sure who's on the mound tonight. Who do we have?
Taiwan Walker, Nestor Cortez. Yeah.
Yes, because I see that's why everybody's been ripping Taiwan Walker this past day and a half.
I am one of them because I think tonight. I mean, look, maybe he's gonna prove me wrong, but they're having such a tough time pitching.
Yeah.
To have to kind of go to Taiwan Walker and be like, hey, can you help us out?
Against the Yankees? The Yankees bomb Taiwan Walker.
Home run place. He has trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark in general.
I think last time, I think the game that the Yankees had, one of the games that the Yankees had split the Mets with, was a Taiwan Walker game in which he gave up 4 home runs. I'm pretty sure. I want to say 2 Judge bombs, a Rizzo bomb, something else.
He struggles to keep the ball in the ballpark. That's correct. They did pitch well yesterday. They didn't hit. But, I mean, look, if I'm the Phillies, pretty much nothing went your way. this weekend, and I mean, that's kind of how I expect
it happens in baseball. It happens. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, though, right? Like 162 games are being played. So yeah, the Mets.
We don't need to talk about the Mets today. That was rough. The Mets are going through a little bit of an experiment right now, keeping Escobar, keeping Carrasco. Those are guys that I don't expect to be on the roster come June. Like, I think Tyler McGill showed he's got a little bit in him. I like his arm better than Carrasco's right now, and I think Escobar's a DFA candidate by June type of guy. Brett Beatty's just ripping it in AAA. So, and I mean, Senga is going to be a guy. I mean,
Senga's great.
That was awesome. His ghost pitch, man, that is legit.
Yeah, that's nasty. But I mean, you guys lost. Let's just say it, 10-0 to the Brewers today. Honestly, though, the Brewers are a good squad. So like,
they have a good lineup now.
Their lineup is nasty, and now that they have Contreras over there, like they are actually trying to perform. Especially get with that lineup that they've been missing that big bat, right? Like Christian Yelich had that MVP type season. He did win MVP, I believe, right? He won He was an MVP. Yelich,
yeah, he won an MVP.
Won an MVP and then fell off. Like he fell off the face burn.
He was the one guy today that was kind of tough to watch. Like he struck out, I think, 3 times. He's going. His back kind of failed him, but
you look around and then like they have Rowdy Tellez, they have Willie Adames. Like these are
good
ball players.
Terang's first career home run today was a grand slam off Tommy Hunter. It was
nice.
Dead center. They got Brian Anderson, who's always had high upside. Like, the Brewers are a really good team. I don't think they're winning that division by any means, but they're a wild card contender for sure. That's a good team. Freddie Peralta looked dominant today too. The Mets offense was non-existent after the second inning. Like,
Double R. Philly is going to be insane. That's the thing. Like, I looked at tickets. I have a good friend who lives 15 minutes from the stadium, right? And he's like, yo, come stay over. We'll go hit. It's the same kid that I went to the Yankees game with. It's like, we'll go hit, Citizens Bank Park for a game. And I was like, oh, I'm so down. The Yankees tickets I got this past weekend were super cheap. Super cheap. Last second, you could hop in, grab something, get out. These tickets to the Phillies games were more expensive than Yankee games.
I was going to comment on that because my girlfriend and I were going a little ticket surfing this weekend as well. And I looked in Philly for when we go, and they're insane. But I looked for a couple weeks from now, April 29th, I think is the date. The Mets, they're playing the Braves at home. I was looking for Coca-Cola corn seats. They're like $30. I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. So you better believe we're going to be there. Like, like those tickets are. If the games are going to be a half an hour shorter, I better get some percentage off my ticket.
No, truthfully, though, it was perfect. Like, sitting and watching it, I always felt like I was tuned in. There was it was great, bro. Great. It was perfect the way that we just got to, like, you got to see baseball the whole time. There was no BS. There was no walking around. Like, I don't know. I went to the game last year, especially the ALCS game. I used Game Time. I snagged my tickets on Game Time. I use Game Time, SeatGeek, or Vivid Seats. I stay away from StubHub or Ticketmaster. The big corporations, I ain't rocking with those. I'll go with the other dogs.
What is it, Zach Bryan? All my homies hate Ticketmaster. That's the name of his album.
Really? Ticketmaster sucks, bro.
We don't like
Ticketmaster. Runs up the prices, and they tax.
The fees, you don't understand. Like, they're ridiculous.
Yeah. Wait, back to what we were saying, though. But back to what we were saying. I mean, these ticket prices, you look at the Mets game, and tomorrow, all 3 games, the next 3 that you guys play against the Brewers, are $4,
if they're in
$4, and $6 a piece, bro. Like, this is craziness. They're basically paying you to come to these games.
Basically, right? Like, take it.
Nah,
so I think Milwaukee's stadium kind of draws me out. I
was talking to a friend about it, and we were like, you know what? It kind of makes sense. They're competing with the Milwaukee Bucks, and they have, Giannis.
That does make sense.
That's an attraction. That like people were worried about Giannis, not the Milwaukee Brewers in March. So
I was impressed, but but I feel the same way that Double R does. I think Thursday when the Mets it's going to be a little worse now. I thought it was going to be really electric. I think there will be less people buying tickets. Might not be as loud with Tyler McGill starting as opposed to Justin Verlander, but I still think, look, Citi Field gets loud, Philly gets loud. We love our baseball up here in the Northeast. So
I was actually talking to my friend about Saturday against the Marlins that you guys play. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen, but they're giving away small replicas of Citi Field.
Yeah, they look really cool.
That looks sick, and I feel like I might want to go just to have that.
I'm doing that when Cleveland comes to town. It's very ironic, and I'm sure they did it on purpose. They're having a Francisco Lindor bobblehead day, the day they play Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a great troll.
That's a great troll, but also like I want that. Like, why not? Yeah. I went with Ron Darling bobblehead day.
Yeah,
those little giveaways are cool.
They're sick. They're super sick. And the thing is, I went into the Yankee store and they had a Nestor Cortez bobblehead in there, and $85 later. I mean, I didn't get it, but that's
dude,
if you
the
want
bobblehead prices
are
insane, man. No, they're like, and Double R just said the Mets giveaways are lit this year. I mean, I'm just gonna list a couple out. They got Mets football jersey, Mets basketball jersey, Mets hockey jersey. They're giving out obviously jerseys. Starling Marte Black Panther bobblehead, that's sick. Francisco Lindor
That's
bobblehead.
Gonna be lit.
They've got a Mr. Met bobblehead that had some type of thing to it. The Mets, I mean,
is it him putting up the middle finger?
Oh,
it's just the bobblehead of that.
If they did that, I would be first in line. I would be there first in line. No, that was great. Yeah, no, the ballpark experience this year. I think they knew they kind of have to raise it because you're getting a shorter experience. They knew they had to raise the roof in terms of what they're doing, and I think ticket prices going down a little bit, and the giveaways are really cool. So baseball is going to have a great year. It looks like it. From the first weekend, I'm seeing like shorter games are better. There's a lot more action. Stolen bases are up. They were 70 for 83 this weekend alone in stolen bases. Like, that action is what baseball needs. So
yeah, I dig it. I love it. Baseball's back. We're in full swing now.
And the Phillies haven't won a game yet.
Hey, listen, there's no need to pick on them just yet. I mean, tonight's their chance against Nasty Nestor, and unfortunately for Double R, Nestor is on his fantasy team. So, I mean, I don't know. When he gives us 6 scoreless on this side, at least you'll have something to smile about, right? Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, that's still a W in my book and in your book. Like, let's both win.
I mean,
right? Is that not
too early in the year to worry about fantasy? I think. Like, obviously, but like if you take a little bump on this day in your fantasy team, but you're really hyped because you got your first win of the year, like.
Let's talk about fantasy baseball real quick, bro. Love fantasy baseball drafts.
Mm-hmm. They're long.
I'm gonna delete the app 15 minutes after I draft my team. I can't even lie to you.
No, I'm the same way. I get offered to do fantasy leagues, and I'm like,
why?
Look, I can't follow this shit until injuries happen. Like, I would have drafted Justin Verlander. I'd be like, what do I do now? Like, I'm not a guy who can, like, I can barely do it for football season. I keep 1 or 2 teams in football season because I can't, like, keep track of it. Baseball's a little tough, but I do like drafting, though. Drafting's always cool.
Drafting's fun. Drafting is a fun experience.
Drafting anything on this earth is fun. Anybody who doesn't believe that is insane.
Yeah, that's true. Why, as humans, are we like obsessed with what's the word? Compartmentalizing people into like rankings. Why are we obsessed as humans?
We like to say this is better than this, and this is. We like to have the debate. I think. I think it's inherent in us.
We chase that. That's the dragon for us here.
Yeah, we love that.
All right, so let's talk about, because last night there was a little bit of controversy that went down. The Women's National Championship. A little bit of I mean, I don't even know what to call it, because I truthfully think it's a hugely overreacted conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think like everything is just super exaggerated. It's not this serious. And truthfully, let's keep it to sports, right? Like, why are we reading into this deeper than what's happening on the court and giving like this girl hell because she was just giving it back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. That's where I get it lost, bro. I want to be clear. I think race has nothing to do with this, and that's become like the number one thing.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
I don't like that's become. Yeah, I don't think this is anything about race. Like, I'm being honest with you. I thought it was bullshit that she did that there, because first of all, Caitlin Clark,
hats off.
She just put women's college basketball back. Like, they're back. It has not been like that since Candace Parker.
Yeah.
So like that was great. Good for her. Caitlin Clark, when she did the "you can't see me" thing, corny, but you know, she did it to her bench. All right, whatever. It's stupid, and I agree 100%. You shouldn't do it. It's dumb. But she did it to her bench, and she did it for 4 seconds. Yeah. The only problem I had with Reese
This is where you lost me as well. Like, because if you hear about it without seeing what happened, actually, people are like, "Oh my god, like it's whatever." But then when you watch the video of her walking around and following her for 20 seconds, bro, like she could have a sprained wrist from how much she was fucking shaking her hand, bro. Like, give it up at that point. That was a reach to be a little corny.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like they didn't want to win the national title as much as they wanted to make her look dumb. And that, to me, as a person who loves to watch competition, and look, I'm not going to tell you I know the first thing about WNBA or women's college basketball. I don't. It doesn't interest me, although yesterday's game did. It hurt to see somebody clearly show that winning the national title in anything didn't mean anything to them. They wanted to embarrass Caitlin.
Show up Caitlin Clark.
That's all they came in to do. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know a single player on that LSU team. I know their coach. I hate their coach. Their coach is a terrible human being, and she should never have a job again, but she still does. Horrible human who takes all the attention from her players, which is probably why we don't know any of their players. But all around, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Look, I didn't like when Caitlin talked shit, and I didn't like when the LSU people talk shit. I didn't like any of it.
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the banter. Like, it's part of the game. So, at the end of the day, they're like players in any sport are gonna talk shit. I just got a little I got a little annoyed with how much she carried it out. Like, I could totally get talking your shit, and like honestly, I think when people talk their shit in the subtle, sweet comments, that's even better than going around and doing this for 20 seconds. You do that one time, and then you put up the ring fine. But she followed her around the court. That's not necessarily that part was like OD to me. Like, I still love the concept of shit talking, but like going around and like following her to make sure she sees you and like you want, like you're looking for a reaction rather than winning the game. Like you're saying.
That's what I mean.
I love shit talk regardless though, because I'm gonna talk my shit if I'm stomping you out too. If you think you're the best and I'm gonna come in and upset you, I'm gonna talk my shit.
I think, and that's the problem with me. They didn't come in wanting to win the national title. They came in wanting to embarrass her. And look, maybe you say she deserved it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm keeping 100%. Wasn't nobody watching that game if it wasn't Iowa. That's the truth. If Caitlin Clark wasn't playing, I didn't turn the game on. You didn't turn the game on. Nobody did. If it was LSU, South Carolina, I love Dawn Staley. I wasn't watching. I wanted to see Caitlin Clark. She's Larry Bird. She's making shots from everywhere. That's why people were watching. 9.9 million people watched that game, and it wasn't for LSU. It was for Caitlin Clark. That's why. That's the truth. It is great for women's college basketball that both of them are back next year. You can't leave early in women's college basketball. They're probably going to make a ton of money now that they're staying in college, and it's going to be great for the sport. But that's the truth, and I'm going to be honest with you. LSU, credit to you. Winning a national title is awesome, but nobody was watching that game for you.
Okay.
That's the honest truth. So
that's the take.
I also hate the school of LSU. So go Dogs.
Oh, damn. Okay. Guess this Go Tigers here isn't getting.
Nope.
Sorry. I watch for LSU. I have a crush. Is that the one that thinks she's Spice or whatever?
Oh. Kim Mulkey. Yeah. That was fun. That. To be fair about that, the shut up. You're down 15. Yeah, dude. Shut up. You're down 15. Like if you're down 15, that's it. Like don't talk. Caitlin Clark was talking shit to the Georgia players when Georgia lost to them she's got a little Larry Bird in her. Larry Bird liked to talk.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking shit. That's the thing. Like, I think that's what people are getting carried away with is all of a sudden we're taking it out of sports and we're making it we're making things personal. You know what I mean? Like we're making things on a personal level of race, of debate, like of insulting people. Like this is hoops. You know what I'm saying? Like this is sports. Shit is going to be talked. None of it is ever personal. And afterwards, you can ask the players themselves. Most of the time, they'll have the utmost respect for whoever they're talking shit to. Because that not only as you as a player, it brings you up, it brings your competitiveness up, but it's bringing the whole team around you. There's continuity now around everybody kind of talking shit, having an attitude. Everybody kind of buys into what you have going on when you have a little bit of an attitude to your team. And truthfully, what good teams don't have a little bit of grit to them? So it's like, what are we going to do if we're all just out here giving participation trophies and telling everybody that we're going to hug and, shake hands after every possession? Like it's out. I can't stand this whole like cancel culture of shit talking in sports, you're losing me. You're losing me.
No, I've never been a person where like I see somebody talk shit and I'm like, oh, let's go. Like in baseball, the only time in any sport, like I loved when one of my favorite players like talked a little shit was when Lindor hit that home run against the Yankees. He bat flipped and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not a bit like competition's competition, so I want my teams to win. But in this situation, another point of it is like, how many points did Caitlin Clark score yesterday? She still dropped 30. So like, what are you talking shit to her for?
Well, they won. They won the game. Like, I mean,
yeah, I get it, but like, it's a difference between like when the Warriors, they were clapping in front of Jason Tatum and everything because Jason Tatum had like 4 points in the NBA Finals, and like this situation, like she got her. So like, you want to talk shit? Go to somebody else. Because Caitlin Clark did her.
If I'm talking shit to Iowa, though, I'm going to Caitlin Clark and I'm talking shit to her. Well, I'm not sitting going like this for a half a minute.
Yeah,
I'm going to go and talk shit to the big dog.
I will give them a ton of credit. Double R, you're right. At the end of the game, I think they did a little bit of a PR cleanup there. I don't know if it was necessarily Angela Reese that said they have utmost respect, but they did. I'll give them credit.
Yeah, no, she said that. Like, she said that.
The truth is they are not going to learn anything from this because their coach, and I mean this, is a certified scumbag. She is not a good, she's a bad person. Like, ask anybody who knows women college basketball. She's a terrible human, and I don't mean, like, they will not learn to be better, and I don't think they necessarily have to because it seems like they knew, but it showed a different culture to me in LSU that their coaching staff probably didn't necessarily care or anything. Like, Iowa, they looked like they were a little more, whatever. Iowa was happy to be there. I think it was cool. Whatever. It was a really cool game.
I mean, you could have ended
like it changed the story because I thought the referees were going to be the story, and it completely took that into a 180. So
yeah, I mean, left this at the first, 4 or 5 words here. Like, she's talking shit because her team won. That's all you need there. I'm talking shit because my team won too. You thought like shit was sweet the whole tournament. You came through on a rampage, and guess what? Like, you might have had a good game today, but we're gonna come away with this W, and I'm gonna let you know about it. That's for sure. Like, I don't know. And Andy B, Andy B is slandering. He wasn't even saying the name.
No, I'm not the only one. She, I don't want to make this a whole thing. She takes the attention away from her players, which I've always hated. I always hated Coach K for that. Like, it was never about the players on Duke, right? Like, we knew who Jason Tatum was, we knew who Kyrie was, but like, everybody goes like, oh, this is Coach K's team. This is this. But the players, they never get credit, right? And I hated that. And I hate this about Kim Mulkey too, because like, coming into the Final Four, I knew some players on Virginia Tech. I know Dawn Staley, and I know her guys. I know the people, or her women, obviously, on South Carolina. We knew Caitlin Clark. Nobody knows anything about LSU's players, and why? Because Kim Mulkey, she'll dress like a clown. She'll look like a clown on the sideline, and all you'll see is Kim Mulkey. Kim Mulkey, she gets away with everything. She can say whatever she wants. And I know a lot of people don't know this because they don't know women's college basketball. Everyone hates her. There's not a single coach that will say a good word about her. There's not a single player other than the ones that played for her. And go ask Brittany Griner how she feels. Go look up Brittany Griner, Kim Mulkey. The first thing that comes off will show you why she's a bad person. It's plain and simple. She's a horrible human. But congratulations, she has 3 natties now. One at Louisiana Tech, amazing. One at Baylor, and then took the paycheck at LSU and immediately turned that around. She's a great basketball coach, don't get me wrong. That does not make you a good human. That's all. I'll leave that.
All right. There it is. There's the final opinion from Andy on Kim Mulkey. I mean, damn.
She did. She ran through a ref yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, the intensity of that, like, a lot of coaches do.
No. I know, like, different stuff. Look.
I don't know how far he's talking exactly.
Kim Mulkey, when I mean this, the refs are scared of her. They are not calling a technical on Kim Mulkey because honestly, I think they'd be afraid she'd swing. Like, I think she would. So, like, Emma said it before. Dawn Staley said it before. They don't like her because she has too much power. And you saw that yesterday. She can stand on the court. She's a lot like John Calipari, but he's kind of been scaled back a little bit. But John Calipari does it in a respectful way. Yeah, that's a situation where she just has too much power. So, sorry, I didn't mean to rant on Kim Mulkey.
No, you got it, bro.
I've heard that all over TikTok too. Like, I'm not the only one saying it. She is an utterly terrible human.
No, I mean, it's all good. Let it out. I never seen a coach truck stick a ref before the other night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach physically.
If there was an NBA coach to do that, who do you think it would be? I put my money on Pop at this point. He's just
Pop. He's just like, ready. Fuck it, we ball. Like
his last game, he just
take out the like. Yeah. But then again, like if Pop is getting himself that worked up over like a Keldon Johnson missed call, like Pop. I don't know what to tell you at that point. Like, geez.
I think
I don't know.
Probably that guy though.
Yeah, did Pop get that worked up about the Josh Primo stuff? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All my homies hate Kim Mulkey. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, look. Go look. I want everybody watching to we'll maybe clip this. Look up Kim Mulkey, Brittany Griner, and that'll be the first thing you know. And when you hit your head hits the pillow, you'll know why everybody hates her. You'll know.
Kim Mulkey was selling Brittany Griner some dank vapes, and she got sick off of them.
Brittany Griner played for her, by the way.
No, I know. Well, yeah, obviously their Baylor experience, and they were nuts at Baylor. But I don't know exactly what situation you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't feel like bringing it up now because it is a little political. But if you want to look it up after, you can text me and be like, "Hey, you were 100% right."
All right, you got that.
And I'll be like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah, it's a deal. It's a deal. All right. Anything else you want to chat about? Anything else?
No,
you
I
got
think
on your
everybody's
mind
very excited. Nice national title game tonight. Actually, you can watch the Yankee game, and because of how quick the games are now, might get right to the national title.
Literally, I'm so fucking excited, dude. I'm gonna sit and do nothing and just watch sports. Like, what's better than that on a Monday night? Wilkie's the coach off of Friday Night Lights. Everyone hates, but he wins. Yeah. That's a good.
Great.
And Jason Kidd, when he spilled the water, when he said,
"You're right,
me, bro.
I didn't even think about you."
He gave him a little shoulder. Yeah, that was sick.
Is he getting worked up about these Mavs though? I heard they're tanking.
Yeah. Well, they're tanking so bad that like the Knicks are about to lose their pick, dog. That pick isn't going to convey because the Mavericks are that bad and they're going to be top 10.
Did you see they want to extend Kyrie? How do they want to? How have they seen this team and been like, I need 4 years of that? Like how have they been like more? I need that.
They do. I hope they do.
I hope they do too, because then that's another team in the West like nobody has to worry about.
50 push-up bet on the Yankees winner tonight. I got you. Let's do it.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, I'll video it tomorrow. I'm in chess tomorrow too. Let's
awesome.
do it.
Yeah, that's Winner, you have to video it and post it. I once did that. I once did like a push-up bet when I could do push-ups before I had surgery. So I did one, and then I didn't post them, and everybody was talking shit about me. And now looking back, you've got to post them.
You've got to, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like you got to bang them out, tomorrow for us, just to.
Yeah.
I'm here for extending him. Just got to build a serious team around the 2 stars. I mean, until there's a big man down there, I'm gonna say this till the end.
I got one.
Oh,
Adama Sanogo.
I don't think a rookie's helping. I think they need to call Miami and get Bam Adebayo over there, and I think that'll be a difference.
Maybe.
I think the Heat are done after this year, and I think they're going to fire Sal, honestly.
No, he's not. I don't think he ever gets fired, to be honest.
I think they're going to have a fire sale.
Oh, I thought you said
sell
fire.
Jimmy Butler, sell. Try and get these guys off, either Jimmy or Bam, one of the two.
I thought you were saying Spoelstra was getting fired. I thought you said fired.
No, he's going to be there until he rots. Literally,
they
will ride.
He's taking over for Pat Riley when Pat Riley retires.
Yeah,
what happened.
Again, he deserves it. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's been there. He's been the guy. What happened with the Celtics is going to happen with him. Although I'll be honest, and I love as I've watched more college basketball, I kind of want Brad Stevens to go back to college. I'm sick of being like the selfish, like he's a great coach in the NBA and a great GM. It's kind of selfish to feel that as a Celtics fan, but like, how awesome college basketball would be if Brad Stevens was coaching like Indiana.
That'd true.
Be sick, so
yeah,
I've kind of changed my stance on that. We'll talk about that more at one point. Maybe he'll do it at some point. He's only like 50.
If we make the play-in and lose, then we give us the 11 pick. I believe it's top 10 protected. Better off just losing out. That's exactly.
I've heard that they are considering benching those too. And honestly, I think Kyrie would love that. So I think Kyrie would relish the opportunity to be put on the bench.
GG's, I guess. GG's only. We will see. See. Well, thank you guys for tapping in tonight. Yeah. This has been Moneyline Madness. We will be back tomorrow night with some Mo Sports TV. at the crib. We will catch you live around 7:00 p.m. Eastern time, of course. Make sure you guys are dropping a follow on all platforms.
And we'll be
Drop a
back
like, subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back later in the week talking some more baseball, some more NBA whenever some stuff happens, and anything else that goes on. So appreciate you guys for tapping in. Double R, I will see you on the other side of that bet. Have a good night, everybody, and let's go
everybody.
Yankees.